Hello and welcome back to our Wix tutorial series. In this video, we're going to look at the Wix Ascend plan. And in the Ascend plan, we're going to look at the customer relationship manager. We're going to look at how to create tasks. We're going to use the inbox. And then we're going to look at the marketing and SEO tools that Wix has on offer within the Ascend by Wix plan. If you have any questions or you'd like to follow along with us during this video, you can either comment below, or if you click on the description and the link, you can see and join us on Wix by creating your own Wix account today for free. If you haven't already, check our Getting Started with Wix ADI to get started with Wix very quickly and then see how you can join us on the Ascend plan. So let's get started. So to get started with Ascend by Wix, the first thing you're going to need is to have a Wix website. Now, whether you've created a Wix site using the ADI or this is a website you've maybe had for some time and you're now returning to Wix to find out a bit more about it, Ascend by Wix is now installed on all new Wix websites, and you'll find it on existing platforms as well. If you haven't already, watch our Getting Started with Wix ADI in order to get this far. And then once you're in this level, we're now going to get started from the dashboard. So what you're going to want to do, go to the dashboard in Wix and you'll see a series of options that you may have seen before, whether that's your menus for your restaurant, your blog pages, or if you've added store to your website, you'll see your store products. What we're going to do is we're going to look at the tab that says Ascend by Wix. Now do note straight away, out of the package, Wix Ascend or Ascend by Wix is free. It's limited in terms of its capacities and availability of some features, but you will find all the things I'm going to discuss in this video you can do completely for free. I'm still on the free plan on my own website here in this training session. I haven't upgraded yet, so we're going to get stuck into that. So the first thing you'll see is what is Ascend. Ascend is what I refer to as a full suite or a full package of customer relationship programs, finance and accounts, SEO. Effectively, it's a full marketing suite. It's one of the biggest reasons why when we're saying to customers, when we're talking to users online and we're saying, what do you want to build your website in? Have you built a website before? Everyone says, I'm going to go down, I'm going to build a Shopify website or a WordPress website or get it custom built. And that's great. And one of the challenges you'll find is, you've got the website built, great job. What do you do with that website once you've got it built? Are you then going to go and set up an email marketing software with someone else? Are you going to go and get an accounts or finance software with another provider? Are you then going to go and get a CRM or a customer relationship manager with another provider? And before you know it, you've started with your website, your content management system of choice. You've then had to go and get a customer relationship management system. You've then got an e-commerce management system, and then so on and so forth. And before you know it, you've signed up to 5 or 6 packages. You're paying an extortionate amount of money per month, and everything's all added up between the platforms. What we would suggest is that Wix is a one-stop shop. It's got absolutely everything built in, and the best way I can explain Wix is it's a jack of all trades, master of none. You will find almost everything within Wix you could possibly need for either starting up a new business or just giving yourself a bit of a boost online, from email marketing to automations to tasks, reminders, and finances and accounts. You'll find all of that in Wix. It will come to a point that there's maybe a specific feature that you might not find in Wix, but they're always open to suggestions and always open to find out more. So get started with Wix Ascend or Ascend by Wix. And I'll be calling it every name under the sun as we go through. We can start simply just by going through these lists top to bottom. So the first one is contacts. Think of this as your old-fashioned phone book for your business. If you had a series of contacts, whether they come in through a contact form, an email, or even you could import them from a pre-existing Gmail or CSV file. CSV being a typical Excel sheet where you've got all your customer information. Now, it's great to have contacts in your file or in your phone book as such, because you're going to be able to see if that customer, how long they've been with you, when they signed up, when they were last active on your website. And like me, if you have a store plugin added to your site, you'll also see their order history, how many orders they've processed from you, how long they've been with you, and total expenditure, and so on and so forth. We've set up some demo accounts here alongside so as Wix. So we have some of our own demo accounts. And in here, we can tell you about that customer information, their contact details, their message, how they get into the platform, and much more. So in the course of this video, we're going to go into this in a bit more detail, how you can use this information to reach out to your customers and build up a better marketing experience, an overall better experience for your customers. So to get started, as I said, there's contacts. We then move down to inbox. Now, inbox for me is probably one of the best features I've seen within the Wix platform. Within inbox, you're going to be able to see, first of all, a thread or an email thread or a contact thread of all the communication that's either related or come through the website. So first of all, we can see if a customer's come through a contact form, we can see here form submission. We can see Darren here and Darren's email address, Darren's phone number, and then we'll also see his message where he's actually asked about a private booking event. So when Darren comes in, we have the option to email Darren back. If we wanted to sign up, Wix has a new feature built in now where they're actually selling business numbers, so we could actually text Darren back directly from the system, or we actually have a live chat on our website now as well. So we can live chat Darren back and we can choose what feature. So again, if Darren's on the website, we'll know about it. There'll be a green tick here at the top of the screen to say he's online and what page he's on. But for now, we're going to go to email. We can say, hi, Darren, and we can email Darren back, and we can email Darren directly from the platform. Now, there is further settings you go into with Ascend by Wix to actually connect your own Gmail account into this. So that means that your emails will actually appear from your email. So if your email was like us, hello@profiletree.com, then you could actually use your own email. Now, for now, it will have Wix in the email, and that's just because I haven't paid, I haven't set it up, but it is something to be aware of. You can manage almost all your communications through here. So we could reply to Darren. We can say, yes, that's no problem. And we can get you booked in for that. And then naturally, you'll see here, we can request a payment. Now, Wix is already shouting and singing about this, but we can actually put a payment request in here and we can set up and connect an account. Now, for now, I'm still on the free Ascend plan, so I haven't connected any real payment information to this. But if I was to go through that, I could request a payment here from Darren. That would put a link in here and allow Darren to pay online. Ultimately, for me as a business, I'm able to accept payments online without any issues of sending out bank account numbers, sort codes, and things like that. I can send them a link. That'll be a link to the checkout on the website, and he can pay online, and I can close that order. Again, all that information, the transaction, the payment, will all come through in the inbox. So you can see straight away when it comes to communications between yourself and clients and customers, it's much easier to optimize the system for them. So you'll see here's another example where Laura Lee has messaged in. She's asked, can I create an order for collection? Of course you can. And what we're able to do here is we could actually send Laura Lee a product. So we were able to put down one of the links at the bottom. We could put in view product and actually send that to Laura Lee, and she was able to go and view and buy that product there. And that was the email back. Then again, Laura Lee came in with another email, and that was a test saying hi there and just checking out the system. So you can see how easy the system is to use, and then going through the details in terms of contact information and email information. Now, for privacy, we would have hidden some of the details such as phone numbers in here on this video, but at least it gives you a bit of an insight into the inbox thread. Now, this inbox can also be used for creating new messages and emails. So if you were to go to compose here at the top right-hand side, you can choose a contact from your phone book, or you can add a contact you already have. When you then email that contact, you can email them out and create a new email thread directly from the platform. So again, the inbox is a fantastic area that can be linked. And in just a moment, we'll look at apps and we'll show you how you can even link the inbox into the likes of your social media channels and even Facebook. So CRM is an overused term. I even mentioned earlier myself. What is a CRM? A CRM is a customer relationship manager, and most businesses will use a customer relationship manager to manage workflows, to manage automations, and ultimately to manage their customer experience. And that's all about making sure that your customers are getting fed back to within good time, that you're working with your customers and you're connecting with them on all forms and all digital presences. So the first thing you'll see when you get into your CRM tools is automations. Automations are a great way, if you haven't used it before, to optimize your website for a hands-off approach. So for instance, we can set up email automations. Now again, in the past, you may have had to use third-party email extensions or software, the most commonly referred to as MailChimp, where you would send, for instance, an email to a customer that just thanks them for joining, thanks for registering. And we've actually set up an automation already for that. So we can go into My Automations. We can see here an automation we've set up before. And if we go in there, we can create new ones. So you'll see automations we've had in the past, which was simply just a thank you email for signing up. We could also create other automations though for our store that customers are asked for feedback via email. So again, to set up an automation, Wix once again use their ADI to trigger this. So we can go to use this automation. Wix will have a template there for you. So you'll see here, for instance, what is the trigger? So the trigger is when a customer makes a purchase. If we wanted to edit that, we could change the trigger. So we could trigger it on specific products. So there's maybe only specific products you want to ask for feedback on. And then action is what it's going to do. So what is it actually going to do? Is it going to send an email? Is it going to send a chat request? Is it going to create a task? And we'll go into those tasks in a second. For now, it will be an email. And then in here, we have our sender details. We have our support email address that we use to set up this account. And then we have our template. So if we left click and edit the template, that will open up. you'll see here we have the ability, in the same way we would on the Wix editor, to left click. So this editor slightly different here, but same context. We can see then we have our details. So we've got our ability to change text. You'll see that there is what's called dynamic text. So if we wanted to put in someone's name, we could put that in there. But most importantly, you'll see how easy it is just to left click, add in your text. So new message, just left click, and then we can hit save and publish at the top right. I'm going to go back to the automations where we were before and bring you back to that screen. So when we've got obviously our tabs in the middle of the screen, just it brings us back to our automations. You can see we can set the due date. We can also set the number of days that that's sent. And then of course it's automatically triggered. The timing, then you can set a schedule. So you can also say, when do we want the feedback to go out? So for instance, we know a product might take a certain number of days before that can be scheduled, then we can set a longer schedule on that, as well as a follow-up action. So if we wanted to send that and then create a task for us to review their feedback and contact them, we can do all that. And all of that automation is very simple. It's very linear in terms of its approach. And as I said, we can also go into this in more detail. So you have further questions about specifically about automations, it is something we could do a certain video on. And if you'd like to do that, just pop in the comments below, make a request, and we'll certainly do that. But automations are a fantastic area. You can create automations yourself from scratch, or you can use some of the templates that are here already, whether that's keeping customers in the loop, engagement, even invoicing, if someone goes through the right process. And as long as you set up the right trigger points, that can all be done. Similar to inbox, then we have form submissions. The form submissions are just going to be a calculation or a total on all the forms you have on your website. And you can, of course, label your form. So if you check our Get Started video, you'll be able to see how we're able to edit the name of that form. And then here you can view the submissions table. So it's quite simple, but those forms just allow you to keep track on what forms are doing the most conversion and all the data that's going into those. Workflows are a really interesting feature. For those that have used Kanban style boards or refer Trello style boards, you'll be quite familiar with this. But workflows allow you to create different sections, and these work really well with automations, so that when you drag and, for instance, set a product to say it's been shipped, that can actually trigger an automation if you wish that sends Lorelei a message that says, yes, your product's been shipped and it's on the way to you. Keep an eye out. So workflows are a great way of setting up a process, almost your flow diagram. And workflows can be created. You can have multiple workflows per account. Again, there might be some limitations on the Ascend plan on how much you can actually do there. But if you were to go to create workflow, we can create a custom workflow, or we can create one based on a template that's there. So let's try and see if we can. So we'll go to create workflow. We might have to upgrade, but you'll see here we've got sales leads, hiring process, online store. Of course, as always, we can create it from scratch. So let's go to sales lead. So if we had a traditional kind of sales funnel where we had obviously that lead created, we've contacted a customer for the first time, we've made a connection there, we sent them a proposal or a quote, and then we've sent them the invoice. Now we can set up that process and drag that customer through that funnel. So for those that are just looking at kind of a set reminder on where they're at in their cycle or where things are going in relation to their own process, you could use this like I am here, and it's just simply a visual reference. However, for those that want to set up a few more automations, who want to kind of optimize their own process, then you can 100% set up a automation that triggers off each of these. And it's the ability to add cards. The cards are just going to be your contacts, so you can link it into a contact you've already got in your phone book. So we can put in here Dan again. We can obviously put in the title for that, so we can obviously just say he's waiting for order, or there's an issue, it's on hold, and we can put in contacts. So it really does allow you to edit and change, and then as you need to, you just drag them up the funnel, and that will set the workflow. Again, you can add in new steps as well. So if you change your funnel and you want to restructure or relocate things, you can do that all with ease after you go through. Tasks and reminders are another great area as part of the CRM platform to be able to create to-dos. So if you're working with a customer and you have the reminder that says like there was an issue, you need to follow up with them, then you can create yourself a task and you can say follow up on issue with Darren. So we have Darren, we can link that to Darren's contact. So we know Darren had an issue with trying to book this event. So we can put in Darren in there, we can link that, and we can also set a reminder for us to check in on that tomorrow. So if we want, we can have those reminders, we can say done, and that will put that there. If we're also then using desktop notifications, or if we're using the Wix app, we'll also get a reminder about this on our own devices, just to let us know that we need to follow up with Darren on the issue. Once we've done that, we can then tick and mark it as complete, and that closes that task off. Now, one thing you'll notice as well, and we'll go through this in just a moment as we get into site members, is Wix CRM or Wix Ascend has a really good area for staff. So if you have your owner of your own business If, for instance, you own a coffee store or a franchise or whatever it might be, you can add your staff to this as well. And you'll notice as I've been going through workflows and automations and submissions, I'm actually also able to assign these to my staff too. So if I just go back to edit, I can assign that to my team. And again, if I was on the right plan, you'll see at the moment I'm on the free plan, but if I was on the right plan, I would be able to go and add and upgrade and add my staff to this. So my staff would be reminded instead of me. And so it just shows you the fidelity that Wix have within their platform, that it's more than just a website builder now, and they've got a few more features there. But as I said, once you've done that task, tick to close that off, and that'll be removed from your list, and you've checked that mark there. The final one then is site members. This falls into two key areas. This is site members, that if you have a membership part of your website where customers can sign up, they can register, you can obviously reward them with different levels of access, different permissions, and ultimately also your staff as well. Staff can be added, and they'll also list in here their member list, last login, their role, and you can manage your staff. Now this is where Wix does fall into that jack of all trades, master of none. Hopefully Wix won't mind me saying that, because what I mean by that is Wix will effectively do everything that you need at a top level. But once you start getting into more detail, so for instance, site members, if there's specifics in there that you need, it might not obviously carry that function. So let's say as an example, you want to use this for your store. Your store had 3 to 4 staff that helped you. There may be part-time staff. They might have different, for instance, role types. They might have a timetable. There's not really a rota as such you can put into Wix. It's not used for that case, but for your website, for managing orders, for managing communications that come through your website, and potentially even some of your social media channels like Facebook and Instagram, this is definitely the thing to use. It will get all of that within your platform. So if we now go back to the main menu and we go back into our Ascend by Wix, we can see the next section down is Marketing and SEO. Now, Marketing and SEO panel is massive. We could spend an entire video just going through this alone, but I thought it was important at least to highlight this and to reference. Now, I am using a demo site that isn't technically live. It's not on a real domain. It's not a right plan. So there is some stats you're not going to see. But one of the big things about the marketing plan, and we'll get started with SEO, is obviously the homepage. So first of all, before we go into SEO, we've got the kind of the general promotional area for Wix Ascend or Ascend by Wix. And that's going to be, creating social media options, optimizing your website for SEO, tracking for ads. So we're on email marketing, Facebook and Instagram ads, and even using email marketing templates. You'll see all of this within the marketing home area as a bit of a promotional stunt. But then what we can start to go do is go through each of these in one go. So we start with SEO. So getting found on Google. This and some of the points that we'll go through here will be locked out for me, but getting started on Google is very simple. When everyone talks about SEO and search engine optimization, it is that greater unknown. You're not sure. What are your keywords? What is a keyword? What is SEO? Well, quite simply, Wix turned this into what's called a Wix SEO wizard. They're simply just there to allow you to get a personalized keyword plan. And what that simply means is you'll go through almost a questionnaire. It'll ask you about your business, what you do, location, and then based on that, Wix will deliver to you a somewhat kind of plan. What keywords do you want to find? And if you go through this, I'm not going to go through it all with you now, but describe your business, coffee store, hipster. You might want to go through what you find would be appropriate keywords. And you just want to ask yourself, what would I type into Google to find my business? And you want to try and keep it as unique as possible with so much competition out today. And based on that, Wix will then give you a checklist of things that you need to go back onto your website. You need to go back to your Rise and Shine Coffee, and then you need to go through this and you need to make changes that reflect what Wix have said to do in the SEO plan. So again, a fantastic tool from Wix, a really great way of optimizing your website for search. There's then further advanced tools. So again, if you've done a wee bit more SEO work in the past, you might want to edit your sitemap or your robots file. From there, for instance, that can also help you optimize your site for Google. So there is a further step you can take this. And again, it's a greater video. It's another video to add to the list. But again, if that's something you'd like to know more about, if you'd like to know more specifically about SEO on Wix and how it can be used, do drop a comment below and we can jump into that. As we then move into marketing, which is without a doubt the biggest section on the Ascend by Wix platform, you'll see everything from email marketing, Facebook, Instagram, Google My Business, social media posts, video maker, discount codes or coupons for those that are across the pond, marketing integrations and much more. So straight away, email marketing, the big thing I could say here with this is your replacement to the likes of MailChimp. So email marketing within Wix have a fantastic platform, also similar to MailChimp where you have templates. These templates can be created, included for you, and there's also more templates to choose from. So there's a massive store. And when it comes to editing these templates, it's very easy. And in the same way that the Wix editor works, or what you've already seen in Wix, with the ability to left click, to change the text, or even to left click on images and change out images for your own. So we can of course choose change logo, change image, and upload our own image either from the site files that we had before or our media from Wix, and we can search for copyright-free images. So there's so much potential within the platform there, with the ability to create new email campaigns, add video, add links, add buttons, and even link through to your store and much more than that. There's also then the email marketing assistant that will help you create certain campaigns. So it will help you create certain lists and groups. So again, you'll see here the tips on how to create certain lists. So you can help create lists, you can funnel users in from certain areas on your website. So if there's a certain form that you wanted to give people access to, which was say a coffee newsletter, then you can funnel everyone in to get that mailing list. With the Ascend plan, you will, as I said, be limited. So you're on kind of the basic or the free plan. So you're able to publish 3 campaigns and emails are sent. Up to 5,000 emails can be sent. So again, you can upgrade to get more unlockables there, but it just goes into the extent of what Wix is offering. Something I can't go into, unfortunately, today is Facebook and Instagram ads along with Google My Business. This is a great way of getting started and also optimizing the Wix ADI and the AI to connect into Facebook to help drive and optimize your posts to get the best return of your investment. It's a really great way of optimizing your budget. So whenever you get in, for instance, to the Wix Facebook ads, it is a really clean and clear area. So if you're unsure, you can also speak out and reach out to Wix. You've got to talk to an expert below and they'll go through that process. So definitely something worth getting into. If you've never ventured into ads before, Wix is the best place to get started with. Very optimized experience, and because it's all connected in one area, you'll see all your stats coming through between obviously your Facebook referrals as well as your click-throughs. So much control in that platform. In terms of social media and video maker, if for those that have used Canva before, you'll find a very similar experience here where you can create social media posts. So again, there's a series of templates we can use. Of course, we can start from scratch, but let's go with a kind of a cooking. You'll notice that ADI knows that I'm a coffee store, will always try to give me food and drink as the kind of relative templates. That makes sense because that's what we've chosen whenever we first built the website. So where I am, it's a really warm, sunny day. So let's look at ice cream. So we have our templates here. We can select our template, we can choose in our text. We can obviously change our image if we want to. We can add in new text, so we can add in some bold. We can obviously adjust the position of that, put in a bit of bold text, have it sitting just at the bottom. Let's just say rise and shine in there just for now. I need to fix that. Yep, so really simple. Then we can go to next, we can preview that image, where it's going to go to, and when we go to hit share, if we wanted to, we could even connect our Facebook account to the Wix platform, and that's going to allow us to post directly onto our Wix site from here. So as you can see, you can connect your Facebook page, you can write the short caption, and the same for Instagram as well. And then if you wanted to post it anywhere else, you could download it and then send it there for that specific device. So again, it just goes back to that greater control that Wix is offering, but the big partnership at the moment is with Facebook and Instagram. Video Maker is very similar. Video Maker allows you to either create your own videos or edit pre-existing videos, and of course they're resized for the suitable platforms, whether it is Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And so from there, again, you can create videos, you can add text on top of the videos, also add transitions and make really basic promotions. But these promotions can then be used in your own email marketing that you're doing within Wix, as well as your social media. And this is where you combine this kind of integrated platform that allows you to put everything together. So you'll see the setup that Wix have put together is really that one-stop solution for everything here. And then as we go on, we have discount codes, coupon codes, marketing integrations if you're using Google AdSense, if you're using Google AdWords, Google Analytics. All of those integrations can be funneled into here, as well as some other third-party platforms. There is a wide amount of tools, even MailChimp as well, that can be funneled into MailChimp, and you can find out more by visiting the marketing integrations page. One thing we'll not go on to too much today is the branding and sales channels, but do be aware that Wix now have a logo maker and brand section too, where you can create a logo for free online, and then once you're ready to have it published, you want to use it on your website, you can actually pay Wix and get that sorted, and they will also offer you the ability to actually get some merchandise done too through the business card section. So letterheads, merchandise, and etc., all done through Wix. In another video, we will go into the logo maker and show you how it works, how you can create a logo, and you'll even see how we would create the Rise and Shine coffee logo using the Wix logo maker. Finally, we then have sales channels. Now, sales channels is arguably a new element that's been coming to the Wix Ascend area. The sales channels are a fantastic way of combining your orders. So if you, for instance, post your coffee beans, in my case, if I was to post those on to eBay or Facebook Marketplace, what that will allow you to do is that when someone purchases on that site, the sales channel will funnel their order, it will funnel the stats back into Wix. So again, it centralizes everything for you in one key area, and it really keeps that overall process as clean and as effective as possible. And this is the whole thing about Ascend by Wix. It's about centralizing everything from your contacts, your CRM platform, your analytics and reports, your site traffic, how it's doing. It's funneling that all into one area. And again, Wix just keep expanding their features. The SMS, the business phone is new, that's coming in. And then also in the last couple of months, they've released obviously finance. And finance allows you to manage your payments, whether it's taking payments online through your chat, as you were able to see before, or actually sending out quotes and invoices to potential businesses or clients that you're working with, and then funnel that money in through the website. So it creates, first of all, a fantastic user experience for your customers that they're able to pay online without having to again send out sort codes, account numbers, and different bank details that can just confuse things. It also then allows you to integrate with potentially if you have other financial partners in the background, whether using QuickBooks or Xero. And also you can have a look for your country too. So there's more specific apps available on top of that. So there's just so much features in the Ascend by Wix area that it's worth a check out. It's worth going in, having a wee look and seeing what's there. And this is where we start to funnel back to those users who have really been using Wix or maybe haven't used Wix before. And the big thing for this is if you're unsure, if you have a website today that you're not using, that you've got a website online, but is it really doing anything for you? Consider Wix. Set up an account for free. Click the link in the description below. Create an account. See how you get on, and just test it. Play with it. And once you start to kind of get familiar with how easy it is on the front end, as we call it, the visuals, using Wix itself, creating the design, changing the colors and the styling. Once you get comfortable with that side of Wix, I would definitely go back in then and have a look at the Ascend plan and get structured. And if you find that Wix is an alternative option, it is no bother at all to switch over, to look at the Wix plans, to upgrade and see how much it would cost to get onto Wix and even include in their Ascend by Wix. If you have any questions, comment below and we'll be chatting to you in the next video. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe and stay tuned to ProfileTree for more on what we're doing next. And we'll be chatting soon. Thanks now, bye.